Last year, I did a video on some extremely popular Hermes pieces that people will buy when they are trying to get a Birkin fast, because a rumor has it that these pieces are the key to unlocking your dream Hermes bag. And while I did not think that any one of these pieces really worked or they worked better than any other Hermes piece, we have some new items to add to the list, some new forms of Birkin bait that launched in the recent past that people will often turn to when they are desperate to get their hands on a special Hermes bag. So if you'd like to find out what these pieces are, how much do they cost, because let me tell you, some of these prices are just unhinged. Do I think that they are worth your hard-earned money? Because unpopular opinion, not everything that comes in an orange box is going to be life-changing. And do they work at the end of the day? Will they get you your dream Birkin or Kelly bag? If that sounds interesting to you and you'd like to find out what I have to say, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. And keep on watching. If you've been with me for a while, you already know my stance on this topic. It doesn't matter what you buy. It's never guaranteed that you will be offered what you're looking for when you're looking for it, and there is a very simple reason for that. Hermes does not have a huge stock of bags available at all times. It's not like they always have every single bag in every single color available in the bag. They are not like other brands. Yes, they do get bags every now and again, well, quite regularly, let's be honest, but it doesn't mean that what you're looking for and when you're looking for it is available. And I would not want you to sell your soul, go into your Hermes, spend a fortune, and then be surprised if they don't offer you anything, or if they don't offer you exactly what you're looking for right then and there, or in the near future. Because if you're looking for a rare, extremely special bag, it's very possible that it will actually take Hermes a couple of months, if not a couple of years, to get that bag in stock, especially if we're talking about more rare so-called art bags or exceptional bags, or even exotic bags like a Himalaya. You can spend a small fortune. It will not guarantee that that bag will be available for you. Sure, if you're clearing shelves, if you're moving products, you will leave a good impression, and it's possible that you will be offered something, or you can ask for a special order bag, but it's still not guaranteed that you will get exactly what you're looking for and when you're looking for it. So if you're extremely impatient and you are very specific with what you're looking for, I think you're much better off spending that money on the premium, on the secondary market, as long as you have a source that you can 1000% trust. Please do your due diligence and never buy pieces from places that you cannot trust, because it's just simply not worth it. Either be patient, or if you're impatient and you are looking for something really specific, do a ton of research and go to a secondary source that you can be very confident in. But that doesn't mean that the wait isn't worth it, as long as there are pieces out there that you actually enjoy and you would buy regardless of getting a Birkin or a Kelly. I don't think that there is a single item out there that is a surefire way for you to get a Birkin. It doesn't matter what people say. This is my opinion, and I have been buying pieces from the house for over a decade at this point, and in my experience, it really doesn't make a difference. The reason people will often recommend more expensive pieces is because it's easier for you to build up a rapport and build up a strong purchase history by buying large ticket pieces. It's just more simple. If you buy one item that costs, let's say $5,000, you can do that much faster than if you had to build that same amount of spending with smaller ticket pieces. You just have to go back a lot more often. You'd have to buy more pieces in terms of quantity and not necessarily quality. So yes, buying a piece of furniture or buying a piece of jewelry will definitely boost your profile, but nothing will guarantee that you will get what you're looking for and when you're looking for it, and I do not want you to be disappointed. So my biggest tip for you is to buy things that you actually like and that you could see yourself wearing and enjoying, pieces that will fill a gap in your collection, and things that just resonate with you and your aesthetic, because sooner or later, if you're only buying things to get your hands on a bag, you will start resenting the brand, and I feel like it will leave a bitter taste in your mouth, which is just simply not worth it. Hermes is an incredibly rich luxury brand with so much for you to choose from. They have so much to offer. They are a comprehensive lifestyle brand, meaning that they have created anything and everything under the sun that you can think of. So there is really a lot for you to explore and choose from, but do not buy something just because you think that that is the piece that will get you a Birkin or a Kelly, because in my experience, it's almost never the case. Buy things that you actually enjoy. And I'm not saying that spending a lot of money at Hermes will not accelerate your journey and the process of you getting your hands on a bag. That is certainly not the case. If you spend a lot of money, it can definitely help you get a bag a little bit faster, but only spend a lot of money if you are willing to take a risk and only spend on things that you really enjoy. That is at least my opinion. But I did ask you guys on Instagram to send me pieces that you've heard of people buying, thinking that those are going to be the recipe for success to get a bag. And a lot of you mentioned some very interesting pieces. So I thought we could start with those, because some of these pieces I have seen, I've been aware of, but I really never thought that anyone would buy. But one of the most frequently mentioned pieces was actually Hermes's jukebox. Now, what you have to know about this piece is that it launched, I want to say, a couple of years ago, and it was actually initially part of the Hermes Horizon project. If you're new to Hermes, it's possible that you've never heard of the Horizon project, because Hermes does have several different tiers of customization. So I feel like if you know Hermes, you'll be familiar with their so-called special order experience, which usually happens twice a year, or I should say traditionally it happened twice a year. Now they're a lot more flexible about when you can place a special order. It's not as strict as it once was, but back in the day when it first started, twice a year you could place a request for your dream bag. It didn't mean that you could create whatever you wanted, but within certain guidelines, you were able to design a bag. You could choose the color, the size, the leather, the stitching, and the color for the lining, the hardware, and so on. I have done videos on the special order experience, so if you'd like to find out more about that, I will make sure to have that video linked up here for you. And while that sounds dreamy that you can place a request for your dream bag, you are still restricted by certain rules and by the color chart. But if money is no object and you really want to create something that is truly unique to you, Hermes has the Horizon project, where they will design for you whatever you want. So they have designed the interior of private jets, of vintage cars. They have designed skis. They have done skateboards, bags that were specifically designed for fruit. So Hermes once had a client who carried an apple to work every single day, and they wanted to have a special case for their daily apple. So Hermes designed a case for that. So they have done some very interesting and unique pieces. These are not usually things like Birkins and Kellys. They are a lot more intricate, a lot more unique, and a lot more quirky and creative. They have an entire team of engineers, of craftspeople, and tailors who are dedicated to the Horizon project, and basically they are dedicated to realizing their most valued clients' visions. And one of the pieces that they created in the past was a jukebox that they were so happy with that they decided to put it into not mass production. That would be a huge exaggeration to say that, but they decided to open up the opportunity for more clients to place an order for one of these pieces, although it is an opportunity that will cost you 310,000 euros to be exact, but it comes in a handful of different colors. Most recently, it was introduced in a more neutral colorway, but it doesn't mean that it will be any less eye-catching, because every single design features the same print, which is the perspective Cavalleria print, and then the overall design, detailing, and shape is inspired by the Bauhaus movement, which is not my personal favorite, but if it is yours, just know that this record player is out and about now. It also features, I believe, 6 different speakers of the highest quality. There is a built-in record player, and the entire jukebox is smothered in the most beautiful buttery soft leather. And just that process of wrapping this piece of machinery in leather takes Hermes over 100 hours, and that does not include all the time and effort that is invested into putting the technology together. But if you're really into your music and you would like to get a piece from Hermes, don't think that you need to spend this much money, because they also have some other pieces, including some speakers. There are two that I can think of, although I'm sure that they have done a lot more. They have a 3-in-1 speaker, which comes in a large wooden box or a wooden stand that allows you to use it at home as a large speaker, but you can actually remove the most inner speaker and use it as a portable speaker. It also comes with little attachments, so you can attach an Hermes strap onto it, so that's one option. And then if you're going to use it just as a stationary speaker, they also have some leather wrap speakers that you can use in your living room or in your home movie theater. I mean, if you're spending $25,000 on a speaker, which you probably want two, you don't want just one, you most likely have a special place where you watch all your favorite movies at home. So you do have the option of those pieces. They have also recently come out with a pair of headphones, which were initially part of the Horizon project, similar to the jukebox. They're also going to be launching a turntable later this year, so there is a lot for you to choose from. If money is no object, the speakers I think start at around $15,000, and then the sky is the limit with the jukebox and the turntable. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but the record player is actually set on a huge hand-poured, hand-blown Murano glass stand, which will match the color of the leather perfectly. Not my cup of tea, but if it is yours, just know that it is something that is available now, and clearly people are very much aware of this and they're adding it to their carts like hotcakes. If you thought that the Hermes Avalon pillows and blankets were the epitome of luxury homeware, you have seen nothing yet, because yes, those pieces are extremely popular and extremely overpriced for what they are. They are definitely not the most expensive homeware pieces that Hermes offers. Not even when it comes to blankets and pillows. Hermes will have some very special, really exquisitely crafted pillows and blankets every single season, and this season is no exception. This year, the most expensive pillows and blankets that money can buy from Hermes are actually inspired by the iconic Avalon print, but they are embellished with hand embroidered glass beads, and they are 100% cashmere, whereas the original Avalon range is actually 10% cashmere and 90% wool. I'm pretty sure that's still the case, although that has changed over time, but it is a lot less soft and a lot less plush than some of their more premium pieces. Hermes also has their iconic cheval print, which is inspired by the portrait of a horse. They will also offer that not only in a plain cashmere finish, but they'll also do this blanket embroidered and beaded every now and again, which can set you back over $10,000. I think the exact price of the Avalon rayon blankets and pillows this season, I think the blankets start at around 8,600 euros. So they are definitely up there in price. In the US, they will be just over or around $10,000. And again, they will have some hand beaded details. Usually these pieces are made in India, similar to Hermes's carpets, because if you want to be blown away by prices, look at some of Hermes's carpets, because the prices are really just ludicrous. If you don't want to invest quite as much money in a carpet, that, you know, carpets don't tend to last quite as much. At least I know that they would not last in my home with a baby beast. Blankets might be a way to go. And staying on the topic of homeware, a piece that actually quite a few of you mentioned that you have recently bought, and I can see why. I myself considered this piece at one point when it first launched, which I think was around 2020. Don't quote me on this, but this piece has been out for a few years, and it is the Reuben paper basket. It's basically a leather trash can or a container that you can use for pillows and blankets, but it's technically offered as a magazine holder or as a paper basket, so like an office trash can, long story short, it comes in two different sizes. There is one that's slightly taller and a shorter, wider option, which I think the shorter, wider option is what is sold as a book holder or as a magazine basket, and then the other is a paper basket. It is available in a single color. It's made of natural cowhide, which is one of the heritage leathers that Hermes offers. It's more similar to saddle leather, and then it has these ribbons of Epsom leather that are woven through the basket to create this really colorful, bold sort of checkerboard pattern that actually pays tribute to jockey jerseys and horse blankets. So like most things from the Maison, this piece is also inspired by their equestrian heritage, and it certainly adds a really special touch to your home, but it is a touch that will set you back just under 5,000 euros. I can't remember how much this piece cost in the US, but in Europe, I'm pretty sure it's 4,900 euros, which is just insane that a leather basket could cost you that much. But that's the price, and I know a lot of you ended up buying this piece. Again, it is a stunning creation. I love how it combines different bold colors with a neutral base, but it is way too expensive in my opinion for what it is, especially considering how small it is. If you don't mind spending a hefty amount of money at Hermes and you're looking for a container that's both functional and beautiful, I would also love to put the paper saddle boxes on your radar, which I know they are extremely controversial pieces, and some people will tell you that they are not worth the money. In my humble opinion, those are actually worth the money. They're expensive for a paper box. I think they are just under $1,000 at this point. They come in 3 different sizes, in a few different colors, but I do think that they are actually quite practical, and depending on what size you pick them up in, there are so many different things that they can do for you. And then you can also buy, I think they're called the carousel boxes, which are made of metal. I think they're made of stainless steel, which have a very similar shape to them, and they were also intended to be used in the stable, but I could definitely see people using them as a coffee table or as a nightstand. Let's shift gears and talk about some fine jewelry, which people will tell you that buying fine jewelry and watches is the best way for you to accelerate your Hermes journey. I don't really think it has anything to do with commission or with those specific pieces being bought, but these are an easy way for you to spend a lot of money really quickly, because again, they are high ticket pieces, so you can buy something and boost your purchase history quite quickly. Whereas if you spend the same amount of money on shoes or ready to wear, in most cases it will take you a lot longer to accumulate spending the same amount of money. But you know that I am a big fan of Hermes's fine jewelry. I do think that most of their pieces are extremely underrated for the design, the quality, and what they will add to your collection. Although that might not be the case quite as much as it used to be. I think their jewelry is becoming more and more popular. But there are 2 new pieces that I wanted to talk about, because everyone will tell you to buy the Kelly bangle, the original Kelly bangle, if you're hoping to get a bag fast. The Kelly bangle ranges between $10,000 and $50,000 depending on which option you go for. You can buy it without diamonds, you can buy it with the metal plaque being covered in diamonds, and then the full pavé version, depending on the shade of gold that you opt for, is around $51,000, which, don't get me wrong, if you spend that much money at Hermes, that will certainly help you get a bag. I'm just not sure if you'll get the bag that you are looking for, that exact bag that you're dreaming of taking home, but it cannot hurt as long as you like the way it looks. But I do not like the original Kelly bangle. I have talked about it before. I find it quite uncomfortable. I don't think it comes in enough sizes, so not everyone will be able to find one that suits their wrist and the shape of their wrist, which is quite annoying. And it also gets stuck on things because of the way the Kelly twist closure is set on this piece. But if you love the look of the Kelly twist closure, they have just launched a new Kelly ring, which I actually much prefer. It is a slightly wider take on the original Kelly ring, which I actually have not seen in quite a while. So perhaps this is what they were working towards, this new Kelly ring, which is really, really beautiful. It's inspired by the Kelly ring that was set with baguette diamonds, which started at like $20,000 and it went up to something ridiculous because it was set with, I think, 4 carats of baguette cut diamonds, which was stunning, don't get me wrong. So that is certainly something that you could add onto your wish list. But if you're looking for something slightly more accessible, just know that there is a wider Kelly ring with just the metal plaque of the Kelly twist closure being covered in diamonds, which I think is around $6,000. And then there is a full pavé version, which will set you back $15,300. It's currently available in yellow gold and rose gold, and it is a really, really beautiful take on the Kelly collection. And it makes quite a bit of a statement compared to the original Kelly rings. And I actually think that they're quite reasonably priced for what these pieces would add to your collection. So if you are a big Kelly fan, just know that these rings are available now. And then an alternative to the Kelly bangles is the original Shandong bracelet, which the Shandong motif has been around for, I think it was originally designed in 1938, and it was actually inspired by anchor chains. So it has a really beautiful, rich heritage and history. Previously, it was available in either solid gold or solid silver in a ton of different width. But for this current season, they're offering it in a double tour version, which means that it will wrap around your wrist twice, and it comes in two-tone. So the majority of the bracelet is made of silver, but it also features some solid gold chains and a solid gold T-bar. I would love to know how much gold you're actually getting, because I think this bracelet is around $24,000, which, considering that in my opinion, the majority of the bracelet is made of silver, is quite inflated. So this is something that you could look into, but I would much rather point you in the direction of the original solid Shandong bracelets. If that's something that you can get your hands on, that I feel like will go a lot. That is something that will last a lot longer than a silver piece would. You know, I'm not a big believer in spending a lot of money on designer silver. I just don't think it's justified. But if you're looking for a bracelet, this is out now, and I would encourage you to try to hunt down the original Shandong bracelets in solid gold instead of the Kelly bracelets, because if you're already spending this much money at Hermes, you might as well spend the money on something that is timeless, that will last a lifetime. And a Kelly bracelet is definitely not going to help you anymore with getting a Birkin or a Kelly than buying something else that is a lot more elegant and refined, in my opinion. Who remembers the Furby bag inserts by Hermes? I'm not sure if people still do this, but there was a point in time when people who were too shy to ask for a bag would hint at wanting a bag by buying a Furby bag insert without actually owning an Hermes bag. So they would buy one of these bag inserts, and that would be them signaling that they would love to put in a wish for a bag, which I'm not sure how that worked, but that's something that people did at one point, or at least that's something that was going around when I first started buying Hermes. Anyway, let's move on to some pieces of ready-to-wear that people will tell you that they are an easy way for you to get a bag, and that's purely because they are quite expensive. So again, you will spend a lot of money really quickly, and people will often say that coats are a great way to get a bag, and they really are, because again, you're spending a lot of money. And in this case, I actually think that it is justified, because Hermes's coats are expensive, but they are a true timeless investment. I would love to put 2 coats on your radar. One of them is the supple cashmere coat. Hermes's cashmere coats are really, really divine. They will cost you, depending on the season, depending on the fabric composition and the shape, how oversized they are. They can be between $8,000 and $10,000, so they're definitely not for the faint of heart. But I can tell you that these are things that will last, and you will be able to get your money's worth out of. So they're really supple, beautiful baby cashmere coats, and the reason I use the word supple is because they have an actual coat that's called the supple coat, because it is kind of reminiscent of the, at this point, discontinued Celine cocoon coats, except these will also have buttons, which the cocoon coats didn't. But Hermes's cashmere coats are heavenly soft. They are extremely warm, and they are really things that will stand the test of time. So those are something that you could certainly look into. They offer them in a ton of different cuts, finishes, and colors, but the supple coat is always a classic that you can go back to. They offer it every single season in different colors. And then for the past few years, they have also been doing the most divine leather trench coat, and I believe it is going to be launching for this upcoming spring summer season again. I know it's surprising, but they usually do this leather trench for spring summer in deer skin. It's quite similar to Togo in how it feels, but it is a lot lighter and a lot more buttery. It is honestly one of the most beautiful coats I have ever tried and ever felt. I have tried this coat on several times and it is really, really beautiful. It's quite long and quite a feminine shape, but if you are looking for a statement piece and one that is a true encapsulation of Hermes's ethos, their heritage, and their craftsmanship, look no further, because this is the best piece money can buy. The details of this jacket, I mean, the leather to begin with will make you look like $1,000,000, but all the details really just speak for themselves. It has this incredible diamond-shaped quilting on one of the lapels. Every single button has the Clos de Sel motif engraved onto it. It really is like a piece of art, and it might not cost you $1,000,000. It will certainly make you look and feel like it for the humble price of $15,000. There are, of course, some shorter leather jackets from Hermes, which are also stunning. They do their traditional rider jackets, which is one of the most slim-fitted, most form-hugging jacket you'll ever find. That's a shape that they offer every single season in leather, which you cannot go wrong with. But if you're looking for the creme de la creme, the most outstanding, most eye-catching piece, their leather trench is really just spectacular. I feel like a lot of people who are on the hunt for a Himalaya Birkin or a Kelly will try to get one by first ordering a matching pair of shoes. I feel like the most popular is probably the sheep, although I don't think it's something that really works out, because I have seen these pieces pop up on the secondary market quite often. So I feel like people tried it didn't really work, so they just ended up trying to sell these pieces on the pre-loved market. I feel like there was a point in time when Fashionphile had one of these every other week, but you can actually order different shoes in different exotic leathers and different colors, including the Himalaya finish. And this is something that would happen through the Exotic Lab. The Exotic Lab is an experience offered to some of Hermes's most valued clients. It's not something that you have to be quite as established for as you'd have to be for the special order experience, but it's certainly not something that you can just walk into a store and ask for. But if you have a decent relationship with the brand and you love your exotic leathers, just know that you can actually place an order for Hermes's most classic shoes in exotic leathers. You cannot choose just any color that you want. There is a color menu and a leather menu that you can choose from. Certain shoes will be available in certain leathers and certain colors. So here, think of things like the sheep, the Oran, the Izmir, or the Paris loafers. These are shoes that Hermes offers in certain exotic leathers and colors, mainly in different shades of alligator, croc, and lizard, although I think lizard is only available in the Izmir for men. But a pair of shoes in exotic leather will start at around $8,000 when it comes to a closed-toe pair of shoes. So when it comes to sneakers and loafers, those are things that would be even more than that. Izmir and Oran, because they feature less leather, will not be quite as expensive, but they will still be thousands and thousands of dollars. But if you're hoping to get an exotic bag, this is definitely a way for you to enrich your exotic portfolio. And then last but not least, let's talk about a piece of furniture that is part of the Hermes starter pack of furniture buyers, although it's not the piece that I started my Hermes furniture collection with. Now, I do not want to exaggerate for a single second here. I do not want to call the couple of pieces of furniture that I bought a collection, but a lot of people who are seriously trying to invest in the brand will start by buying the Pipa writing desk, which is this incredibly tiny, unbelievably lightweight foldable desk. This desk is so small that I don't think it's even 90 centimeters long, and it is unbelievably light, and that's for a reason. The concept behind this desk is that it's meant to be light so you can move it around your home or you have an easy time moving with it, which I don't really get. I mean, if you're spending 35,000 euros plus on a desk, I don't know why you'd want to be moving it around, but that's the idea. In fact, there isn't even a proper matching chair for this. The only thing that you can buy to go with this is this kind of stool that's, again, foldable. It comes in a handful of different colors. The most popular ones are dark red, I think it's Rouge Ash, that features Clemence leather. There is a dark brown version, and then there's also a natural colorway that it comes in, which is the most expensive, because instead of Clemence, that features saddle leather, which is of course slightly more expensive. But these desks will be just around $40,000, and it is something that a lot of serious Hermes collectors will start their collections with. Of course, Hermes also offers armchairs and sofas and dining tables. They also have other desks, some that I considered over this, but the Pipa is definitely the most popular, which I get. It's very, very sweet, but it's definitely not worth the price, in my opinion, for what you get. I don't think it will add nearly enough of an impact to your home to justify this price tag. But if you love a really delicate, really small, really gentle, sort of vintagey looking piece, this is something that you can consider. I think if anything, it could look nice as a vanity table, maybe in your bedroom. So if you're really trying to find a way to make use of this, that's something that you could employ this for. But other than that, I think there are so many other beautiful pieces of furniture from other houses that will add a lot more bang for your buck to your collection than this piece would. Please let me know in the comment section if there are any other insane pieces that you've seen or heard of people buying just to get their hands on a bag. Don't forget that there isn't a single piece out there that will guarantee a bag offer. Sure, if you spend a lot, that can accelerate the process of you getting a bag, but there is no surefire way for you to get your hands on your dream bag. So only buy things that you genuinely love and that resonate with you, your wardrobe, and your personal aesthetic. But I really appreciate you being here and watching. I cannot wait to hear from you if there are any other pieces that you think should be included in today's video and what you think about these pieces. And while you're down there, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so yet. I really appreciate you being here, and I hope to see you back here with a new video really, really soon.